Hello, everybody. I pray that you all are well and blessed and highly, highly favored. Y'all know how I do it. Welcome to the first installment of Lady Flint. I pray that you all are well. I love each and every one of you. And can you believe it? I am doing a talk show. Little shy me. Yes, I'm still shy. I'm just pretending that this is my audience and I'm in my room when I was a little girl singing to my brother's bats. But anyway, my first guest that I prayed about, you all hear me talk about her all the time when I tell you to promote businesses, to promote small businesses, just promote people in general, because we're all out here and we're trying to make it in this beautiful thing called life that God has blessed us with. So let's get down to it. This is my lady friend, Lady Flint's friend. We've been knowing each other 2 years. No, seriously, longer than that.
Two times.
Two times 2 times 10.
Right.
Miss Lowe's Pie Shop is here herself in person, and I would like to introduce her to you all. Welcome.
Thank you.
I love you.
Glad to be here.
Yes,
love you too.
You are a queen.
Yes, you are.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know you're shy and all. But let's get started. So the first thing that is interesting to me, because like you said, we've been knowing each other 10 times 2.
Yeah.
And that's a long time. And a friendship like that never ends.
Right.
And even though that we lost contact during the pandemic, if you don't mind me telling this story, I was playing somewhere on the intercoastal, and I get home and I get this text: I enjoyed you tonight. I'm like, who is this? Lolita. And I call her Lolita, Bolita, Lolita. And that's how we reconnected. And that's been about maybe what? 3?
It's been probably about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years ago. And we've been rocking again ever since. So what I didn't know about Lolita when we were working, when we were working together, is that she has a passion for baking pies. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to let her talk. But those pies are so good. Good. Can you please tell us? I just love you. You always make me laugh, the beautiful smile you have. Tell us, when did you discover that you had a passion for baking?
So I started baking pies, I would say, maybe in my early 20s. I always loved sweet potato, and I started baking them to how I thought they should taste. It wasn't until maybe about 10 years later is when I really looked into, well, maybe I should start my own little pie business. And so in 2018, I opened up Lowe's Sweet Potato Pies. And so that was a hit for a while. But then I was like, okay, now I'm going to try to see if I can make other pies. And so keep in mind now, I do Southern pies, but I'm a self-taught baker. So no one showed me how to bake.
Wow.
I started baking myself on my own. I just figured it all out.
That's amazing.
And so I wanted to make other pies. And so I went into baking sweet potato, to pecan, to key lime, which is fantastic.
Yes, my favorite.
Yes, my key lime is like a top seller. And I just learned how to do all that on my own. So I know I don't have any generational recipes. No one taught me how to bake those pies. And so that's the greatest part about my pie shop. So I renamed it to Lowe's Pie Shop, because now I just don't only have sweet potato, I have other pies that I've incorporated into it. And so now it's Lowe's Pie Shop, and I take joy and pride into something that I've learned how to do on my own, and to see other people enjoying my pies is a great reward to me. And so that's how I, got started with my pie business.
Wow. Do you guys hear that? That's amazing. That's a God-given talent. And see, that's why I tell people, some people don't discover their talents until later on in life, even though you were young, in your 20s, we still young. Hey.
Yeah.
But, to discover something like that, that's amazing to me. So there's no one in your family, no grandmothers, no nothing that taught you that.
No one taught me. I have an aunt that bakes cakes. And so I never wanted to learn. I cannot bake a cake. I just cannot bake a cake. I've tried so
That
many
is
times.
so strange. You can make
Yes.
pies, but can't bake
I
a cake.
cannot bake a cake to save my own life. I've tried so many times and they just don't come out right. So I've accepted the fact that I'm a pie girl. So
And there's nothing wrong with
yeah.
that. That's amazing. So with that being said, I'm going to say again that I cannot stress enough, that's a God-given talent. So when you can have a passion, you know, with the talent, but if you don't have the passion to go along with the talent, you're only going to do it when you feel like it.
Right.
So I know that I've spoken with you. We've been on the phone and you was like, girl, I got an order, and you're on the phone 2 and 1 in the morning baking pies.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
That's a gift from God, and you embraced it and you own it, and I love that about you.
Absolutely.
So you make them? Do you make them from scratch, or
I
do you
make them
add?
from scratch.
Okay.
My key lime is not, the crust isn't store-bought. I take my graham crackers, ground them up down to a powder, and make my own crust. I make everything from scratch.
That is why they're so good. Girl, that crust just melts.
Yes.
And normally, guys, honestly speaking, I'm really not a pie eater, seriously. And my mom could bake anything from scratch. But I mainly ate the crust. And sometimes I would eat the filling. I mainly ate her pies. I mean, her cakes, I'm sorry. But this girl, I tasted and it melted in my mouth. I said, you know what? This is a shame that something tastes this good. And that explains why they're so good. So you mean to tell me you break the graham crackers up?
Yep. I grind them up, put
Girl.
my little, my sugar and butter, and make my own crust. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty of making the graham cracker crust. And so with getting down to the nitty-gritty with making pies, it takes you away from whatever that's going on with you in life.
Right.
So it's just you and the pies, the ingredients, and you're making this creation for people to enjoy. And so that's what I love about it.
That is amazing to me.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the future with your pies? Do you want them in the stores? Do you want them online? Well, you already can get them online, right? Correct?
Yes.
Well, do you see them in the stores or on tour with me? Because I got to have my pies with me when I'm touring.
Yes.
Yes. Where do you see yourself going into the future with your pies? What's your goal is what I'm saying.
So I'm going to go back to 2018 when I first opened up Lowe's Sweet Potato Pies at the time. And like a year within opening up, I really wanted to be at the West Palm Beach Green Market. It's the largest green market in Palm Beach County. And so I really wanted to get there and, to see where it goes. And
Right.
I did not get accepted back then. So here it is, 2023, I applied and I got in. I was
Look at
accepted
that.
for 2 years. So that was one of my goals, was to get into the green market. From this point on, my goal is to, one, just get more exposure. I don't necessarily see myself with a shop, simply because of the brick and mortar, the huge responsibility of coming with that. But I do see myself in little mom and pops,
Shops.
restaurants, stores, those types of places, because my pies are traditional pies, southern traditional pies. I see them being more in a smaller restaurant where it's homegrown, where it's people are, part of the town that can really enjoy the flavor and the taste of the southern pies, as opposed to it being in a national chain, so to speak. And so I would love to see my pies being in a little small, one name restaurant or a little cafe. You can come and get your slice of Lowe's pies, key lime, sweet potato, pumpkin. You can sit there and read a book or whatever you would like to do at that time.
Right.
So have breakfast, eat lunch, so yeah.
Well, I love that vision, but I'm going to say something. Why not think international, big? And I love that, homegrown and this mom and pop shops, because that's what we forget about, to me, and they suffered to me the most in the pandemic. But I would like to see your stuff all over the world because they're just that good. But I do love the fact that you thought about, oh, okay, it's a Southern thing, and the mom and pop shops, and and they'll have that pie, and it'll sell like wildfire. But I know if they go international, I know that they would sell.
Right.
I mean,
so I look at it as, to me, and what I've seen, from what I've seen before, is that when a small business becomes really large, it becomes commercialized.
True.
It becomes, you have to put all of these preservatives in it to keep it on the shelves.
And fresh.
It has to be mass produced. And I'm so like a stickler when it comes to my pies. They have to be fresh. When you get them, they have to be fresh. So that means they have to be off the shelf in a day or two, as opposed to sitting there for maybe a week or so. However, we don't know what God has in store.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
That's where I see it for now. But you just don't know.
Exactly. And that's a great point. See, I didn't think about that because, like you said, all these preservatives. And I love the fact that you just wanted to stay homemade. But you know what? Like you said, you don't know where God is taking you with this. And with that being said, you may get to the point where they're not going to sit on no shelf. I tell you that right now. They're not going to sit on a shelf for a week. Once that first bite is taken, it's a done deal. But I love the fact that you're looking at that. You don't want all those preservatives, because God knows we got enough preservatives and things right now. So I just love the fact that...
and I can go from town to town. I can have my pies in cafes from Palm Beach County to Broward to Dade. I can ship. They can order online. I can get them there.
Y'all hear this?
You can order my pies online if you would like. It's at www.lowespieshop.com. So if you go in there and check out my website, I do have my most favorite pies there. And so you can order online and we'll go from there.
And you said you deliver, right?
Yes.
You deliver. And do you have a spot where they can pick up also?
We can arrange that because I do not have a brick and mortar, but I do, like I said earlier, I do vend at the Green Market every Saturday.
Yes, give them that information.
So I vend at the West Palm Beach Green Market every Saturday. It's on Clematis Street from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. That's every Saturday until April, so it runs 6 months out the year. And then I might possibly do the summer as well. They've just started a summer part of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, summer on Thursday nights, so I might go into that as well during the summer. But for now, until April, we'll be at the West Palm Beach Green Market on Clematis from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. every Saturday.
Okay, so then if you don't decide to do the summer, which starts in April, May-ish, right?
I would say probably May-ish, June.
May-ish, June, okay. So in those months, where are you located then? Or is just people just come online and you just take it to them?
Yes.
How do you go about?
So in between the transition, we can arrange a delivery or pickup during that time. So when they order, we can talk about it from there, and then we can arrange a pickup or delivery at a local point.
Sounds good to me. So you heard what she said. She put your website there. You can go online. You can order it. She says she travels from Palm Beach to,
I would say Broward, maybe Pompano. But we can talk about that. It will be a charge for delivery, of course.
Of course, yeah, gas travel and everything, yes.
But we can schedule we can talk about that.
Right, because I was going to say, what about Orlando and stuff like that? Because I know people are coming from everywhere and trying to order these delicious
Right.
pies. So, how would you do that? But like you said, you could talk about that.
Yes, we can
And
talk
do
about
you
it.
ship? Do you ship also, or just?
I have not shipped yet, and because I haven't reached that market yet, because I'm just really starting to like push myself to get out there.
Right.
I haven't shipped, but I can. Shipping can be very expensive, but I can ship. When you're shipping, you have to make sure that the pie arrives intact.
Right.
You have
Right.
to make sure that whichever pie that's being shipped, it has to stay cold. So now you have to pack it with dry ice. You have to get a cooler. So there's a process that comes with shipping. And to ship, it has to be shipped overnight.
Gotcha.
So that's the
Yeah, so it'll be
process with
fresh.
shipping, so
Right.
that it arrives fresh, it arrives intact. So, but there I can ship.
Okay, and that should be. This just me now. That should be extra charge for that. But
Yeah,
that's
there
just
is.
me.
Yeah,
Because
shipping.
you heard what she said. It's a lot. The dry ice, the packaging.
Yes.
Overnight.
Yes.
And that's overnight is very expensive.
Yes.
It can be, anyways, depending on what you're shipping.
Right.
So
Yes.
wow. So do any of your offspring, do they bake, or it's just you?
It's just me. My daughter, I have a daughter and 2 sons and a husband. And no one wants the responsibility. My daughter
Oh,
is here
wow.
with me. My sons are in other states. But my daughter was like, that's not my calling. That's what she says.
So you just simply bake all of that yourself.
Yes.
With those massive orders.
Yes, I'm the baker. Yes.
Oh my gosh. And I know the holidays are the busiest.
Yes, they are very busy. So at that point, of course, you have to have your orders aligned. You have to make sure that your orders, you start taking orders early and close down when you feel like you're at the capacity.
Right.
I'm only one person, so I have to shut down early.
Exactly.
So that I have to reach my own capacity of how much I can do. So, but I do get a large amount of orders for Thanksgiving.
What is your deadlines? Like, because I start really promoting you around in October, like towards the middle or the end of October, and I tell people, to check you out on Facebook and everything like that. But when is your cutoff time? Like you said, you have a capacity. What is your capacity in that you stop taking orders, just so they'll know?
So I start taking them around the end of October. But it depends on how many orders I get early.
Right.
Is when I determine when my deadline is. So I try to have the orders open at least for like 2, maybe 3 weeks. It depends. If not, if I'm getting a lot of orders up front, I have to cut it off. And so I list all of that information on my website once I start taking the orders.
Right.
I list all of that information on the website, how to order them, because when it's Thanksgiving, when there's Christmas, when there are special holidays, I put those on there. It's a different order form. So I list all of that information on there. So people are aware of deadlines, which pies I'm offering, because I don't offer all pies.
Gotcha.
For Thanksgiving. There may be only 3 pies that I'm making for Thanksgiving. So the most popular ones, I might just do pecan, sweet potato, and pumpkin.
And key lime too, I
And
hope.
key lime, maybe.
Key lime
So-
for me, definitely. I get the same thing every
Right.
year.
So those are the
So-
pies that I might offer for Thanksgiving.
Right.
But still, I've gotten so many sweet potato pies.
Oh, wow.
I've gotten so many pumpkins. So just to reach that, depending on how or when I reach that capacity is when I'll cut it off. And then after that, people still contact you. So it's like,
Yeah, they do.
You have to,
I'm guilty.
you still have to leave room for those people that, you say yay or nay. Well, maybe I can fit an extra one in there. So, yeah.
And that makes perfect sense because you're just one person.
Right.
See, I didn't know if you had somebody. I figured that you were one person, but I wasn't for sure. So that's why I wanted to bring you on and you can tell everybody what is what. But that's amazing to me that you never took a lesson and that's a God-given talent because girl, everybody can't do that, child.
Right.
Please. And tastes that good, and the fresh ingredients that you use, you could tell it's fresh. And now I understand why the crust just crumbles. It is so, guys, I'm telling you, please go tell them all the platforms that you're on so they can
So
reach you.
I'm on Facebook at Lowe's Pie Shop. I'm on Instagram at Lowe's Pie Shop. I believe I'm on Twitter as well. I don't go on Twitter as much. I'm under Lowe's Pie Shop as well. And so those are the only 3 platforms that I'm on right now.
Okay, well that's enough. Because I don't really. I think I did say Instagram, Lowe's Pie Shop, but I know on Facebook. I know that's why I tell everybody go on there and just order. But I'm telling you, girl, those pies are delicious, delicious.
It wasn't always easy, and so
I
that's
could
the thing
imagine.
that people, a business owner, and people that are looking into starting a particular business. I work full time
Wow.
for a local government, and I'm also have a little pie business part time, and so it can be very challenging when the green market is here on a Saturday, and I have to prepare work, and I have to also, when I get off, prepare pies to sell on a Saturday.
Exactly.
And there were times when I did want to give up.
No, you can't give up.
There were times where I'm like, I
could
just
imagine.
can't do this. And so my daughter and my husband were like, no, you're not going to give up.
Good.
I'm like, but I'm just only one person. So they were like, you need to figure it out. You have to figure it out. And so I've kind of, along the way, gotten mad with them, number one, because they don't understand. And then number two, while I'm mad with them, now it's forcing me to figure it out.
Right.
And so when you're an entrepreneur and you're passionate about what you do, you have to figure it out. And so there's no room for giving up.
No.
If it's something that you see that you want to do.
Right. I understand that. And do you see yourself, this is probably going to be my last question, but do you see yourself doing it full time?
I do.
And eventually letting that go like I
do
did?
I do want to have my business full time.
Okay.
So I've been with my current employer. It will be 20 years on June 14th.
Wow.
And so that was one of the things that I prayed about, that if I can just do my business full time,
Right.
then that would be wonderful. And so I'm looking at steps of how can I do this
Right.
full time and still not miss a beat? How can I do this and still, enjoy life? Because working full time as an entrepreneur is a lot different than going to an employer.
Yes, it is.
And you have your paycheck.
Yes, it is.
When you're supposed to have your paycheck.
But
And
God will
so-
make a way. He
right.
will make a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep,
he will
so-
make a way. So today we have my good friend, the Queen, Lowe's Pie Shop. Please follow her at Lowe's Pie Shop on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I'm so glad to have her here today. Finally, you guys meet her instead of us just getting on my podcast, because I only have a few minutes or whatever. And I just want to tell you how much I love you, which you already know that. I appreciate you. I adore you. And I'm just so glad that you was able to do. And you actually, I prayed about it, and you were the first person that I definitely wanted to interview. And I just love you so much. Don't give up your dream. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
And just keep the faith and keep your hands in God's hands. Say goodbye to the noise. That's all I got. Because
Right.
you don't have time for all that negativity. It's enough negativity, positivity. So I thank you guys for tuning in.